Today we are going to review MAPS resistance. Hello and welcome to another review, a new review from the different MAPS programs. Today it's going to be MAPS resistance, which should be quite interesting. It's the newest MAPS program. It came out while I'm recording this a few weeks ago. It's interesting because I was really wondering what was it about, what was its actual benefit. If you have a look at what it does and what they already have with MAPS Starter and MAPS Anabolic. So yeah, before we get going, it would be great if you could like the video, leave me a comment, even if it's just something weird for the algorithm. That really helps if you want to support me. Also feel free to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell to get all the new videos, and also feel free to share with friends, as this really makes a big difference in notoriety in terms of YouTube. They like this a lot. So yeah, let's head in. What is MAPS resistance? It's a new program, more targeted for beginners. It's definitely different than MAPS Starter, and it's not MAPS Anabolic either. It's something in between, where you have at MAPS Starter, or you can see a full review, I will link to it, where you basically don't need almost no equipment, a physio ball and a few dumbbells, and you're good to go. Have you like this follow along programs basically. And when you have MAPS Anabolic, which I also did review, linking to it if you want to see it, which is a full commercial gym training program that you have with MAPS resistance, really something that fits into both and still is something in between. So what does this actually mean? You have 3 different blueprints for this program. One is with just bands and body weight, another one is just dumbbells, and a third one is a full gym. So it's really something for everyone. All of these programs are designed for over nine weeks, so you have 9 weeks of total length for each separate blueprint. But in this blueprint you also have a 3-wave phase basically. It's not phased as in the other programs where you have your typical strength and hypertrophy and pump, but just phased in a way that you do a bit of different training templates each phase. So slight variations in exercise selection, which is cool, which I like that. Something that I thought while I was reading the programs is that there's basically this double phasing. So you have the phases throughout the 9 weeks, but of course you can transition from bands and body weight to dumbbell to full gym if you have access to all of this equipment basically. So you can pretty much easily work at home for bands and body weight, but also with the dumbbell. And of course for the full gym access, you either have a really cool home gym or you have to go to a gym. The dumbbell part is something in between. You can do it at home, but of course with dumbbells you can do it in a gym too. So you can phase throughout basically from top to bottom, do bands and body weight 9 weeks, and then transition to dumbbell and do the 9 weeks, and then transition to the full gym and do the 9 weeks. That's really, if you're not sure where to go, that's a really solid way of using the program. So like this, you're not just doing 9 weeks and that's it. You're doing 3 times 9 weeks and have really a chance to progress in terms of strength, but also of course in terms of skills. A banded squat is easier to do than a goblet squat, and a goblet squat of course is easier to do than a front squat or a back squat. So there's like that I found really interesting. Also what they all have in common, besides the 9-week total, the rest between sets is always the same. Pretty much it's 60 seconds to 120 seconds, so 1 to 2 minutes in between sets. That's because most of the rep ranges are somewhere in 8 to 12, but you will see a slight difference here, deviation here in the full gym version. Well, because with the machines and barbells you can structure it a bit differently. So yeah, you have rep ranges from 5 to 15, so you will go a little heavier in the full gym version than compared to the bands and the dumbbells, which of course is fine. What struck me a little bit weird in terms of where the bands and body weight part is, I think with bands you can easily do also reps up to 30 and actually get a really massive pump. I'm not sure why they did it like this, but you know, that's their choice. In terms of sets in total, in the bands and body weight, you can do 1 to 3 sets. Dumbbell you do 2 to 3 sets, and in the full gym you do 3 sets. So there's also some sort of progression in terms of volume overall, because it just will get more, which is also okay, makes sense. So that's why you can do this double transition throughout the 27 weeks in total if you want to do it like this. Besides that, you always have 2 different workouts per week that you can then do. In the dumbbell version you might even do 3 sessions, foundational sessions a week, where you would switch just like you would be in Anabolic, switch between template A and template B. You do ABA or BAB. So that's something additional there, but besides that it's 2 times a week you will train, and you will also have 2 priming sessions a week before each training session, and you get 1 priming session prescribed. So for, let's say, phase 1, week 1, workout 1, there's a specific 2, 3, 4 exercises suggested that you will do in terms of primer. You don't do them for reps, you do them for time, which for priming and warm-up makes perfect sense. It's a full body workout, all of them, which also in terms of frequency, 2 or 3 times a week of training is a full body split, makes a lot of sense in terms of optimal frequency, I guess. So nothing bad here. What is really cool, if you especially it's targeting more beginners. If you have the blueprint and you have it online, you have a button where it says click here for follow along workout. So if you have no idea what's happening, you just click there, and just like in Map Starter, you can follow along doing what they do. That's super cool and very convenient. In terms of the website, for the members in there, you have again all the exercises demonstrated with coaching cues. You have male and female options, or depending on whom you want to follow or where you want to look at, you can pick there. It's, I think, the first program, if I recall it correctly, where the guys from Mindpump completely are out of the picture. So even the intro is not presented by Sal, which happened to all the other ones. Already a couple programs ago they got out of demonstrating the movements, which was their long-term goal altogether for Mindpump Media, to just at one point saying being able to completely be not part of it anymore in a visible way, and still having the whole company up and running and generating revenue. So that's one step further to this. In case you're wondering or following along to the podcast, that has been a topic, especially Adam was always hitting this home, that he could one day just step away and everything would still work. And this is an obvious step to it. We have the blueprints, the coaching cues demos are looking really cool, really helpful. Now, is it beneficial if you have MAPS Anabolic? Because MAPS Anabolic has a pre-phase, so basically a phase before the actual program. If you are completely new to training or somewhat new to training, I think MAPS Resistance is really worth it. If you maybe in school or for your sport, we actually had some chance to train with dumbbells and barbells, then this might be not very helpful. Then you might just be good doing the pre-phase of Maps Anabolic, just to get back into it again if you were on a long break. It's definitely more demanding, more challenging in my opinion than Maps Starter will be, or is going to be, depending on where you are. But one of the cool things here, the fact that you have basically 3 different programs in one, which they don't advertise that heavily, which I think they should, because it makes a big difference, is that you can, if you have to go somewhere for a couple of weeks or gyms are closed, you can easily, you could in theory just transition, from the full gym template to the bands and body weight template. Of course, you don't get the exact same stimulus, especially if you can squat heavy, but still, you could just, kind of, and you could even mix and match if that would be something for you. You can take the dumbbell template and you take the bands and the full gym. Like in my case, I have bands, I have 2-3 kettlebells, I have 2-3 dumbbells, I have a barbell, I have a power rack and a bench, but I don't have any machines. So I could, just mix and match this for my equipment basically, and try to do the best out of the 3 templates. So you need to get then more creative, sure, but it's definitely something worth highlighting, that even though that's not the way they designed it, just the way it looks, if you put the 3 templates side by side, you could then mix and match just in accordance to what you actually have. And doing what you can is with what you have is so much more than just saying, okay, I don't have this machine, so I cannot do the program. So no, there's always some wiggle room, some things that you can switch out. I mean, in many powerlifting programs that I like, they have a reverse hyper put in there. I mean, I never went to a gym that had one. I don't have one at home. So, you adjust, which is fine, perfectly fine. Some work is better than no work, in my opinion, especially if you follow, like here, a structured program. I was surprised that it actually was something beneficial. I'm not sure when they designed this, or worked on it. They could have released this pretty much in March 2020, and this would have helped many people with the bands and dumbbell template. That was probably something that people could easily buy or already had at home when gyms were closing down over the world. A little late, to benefit from this. But overall, I think that's a cool program. As per usual, let's go quickly over the website. Here it is, Maps Resistance, an intro to strength training, the 3 workout blueprints. Here, that's what I mean with the membership portal. That's really what I mean with where the blueprints are, and the demo videos. As per usual, the money back guarantee. Buy it, look into it, try it for a week, and if it's not for you, give it back. No problem there. I never really heard of anyone that had problems. So the price tag, $97. And I think, considering that, let's say if you're a beginner or somewhat of a beginner, and that if you have 3 different blueprints for 3 different occasions, it's actually worth the money. The $97 are worth it. It's even more worth it if you are getting it on a sale. I mean, as it's new, it's probably not going to be on sale for a while, but still, it's something that is worth pondering. Could be really worth your money, simply because you have the chance to transition to so many different templates. I mean, if you really say, okay, I was out of it for quite a while, and you start doing the band and bodyweight part, the dumbbell part, and the full gym part, it's 27 weeks of programming, so that makes it worth $33 per 9 weeks. That's okay, in my opinion. You get something that will help you actually progress throughout time, and not some weird, fringe program somewhere that might work for you or might not work. And this one here at least gives you also, with the priming sessions beforehand, some guidance. Let's put it like this. That's the review for Maps Resistance. I was honestly surprised that there was a true benefit to it. and that it fits quite well between Maps Starter and Maps Anabolic. If you have any further questions, let me know. Happy to help. I just bought the program to make this review, so I hope it actually helps you in some form or another. Let me know in the comments, and again, like the video, subscribe to my channel, spread it, let other people know that I'm doing this, that I'm doing other content. Follow me on Instagram, where you'll see more my training log. Basically follow me on my website, or follow me on Twitter, where things are getting a bit less health and fitness heavy, but more tech, IT, AI and finance, I guess. So just using it a bit differently. And that's it for today. Hope you have fun. I'm going to finish my coffee and then go for a walk. I hope you enjoyed this. See you next time. Bye.